So we're going to be doing lesson 5 today, which is writing zeros in the dividend. So open up your books to page 362 and let's go ahead and get started. So in the book, it talks about 2 different ways to do this. It's kind of the same thing as multiplying. You can use calculator. That's the other way, the easy way, obviously, but you guys need to know how to do it without a calculator. So we're not going to practice that way. That's the easy way. Everybody knows how to use a calculator these days. So we're not going to do that. Do not use a calculator for your work. You need to show that you know how to multiply and divide decimals, okay? So, so the first part, so it's going to have the steps, the 4 steps again. So let me write those down. Okay, so I'm sorry, there's 3 steps. Yesterday there was 2 steps. I'm getting all mixed up today. Okay, so step 1 is the same as yesterday. You're going to divide and you're going to ignore the decimal. Okay, divide, you ignore the decimal. Same thing as yesterday. Okay, number 2, step 2 is going to be a little bit different. This is what we're going to add here today. So what you're going to do is sometimes you're not going to get an even number. You're going to be left with a remainder. Well, for decimals, we don't have a remainder. We don't just say 20.3 remainder 9. That doesn't make any sense. So we have to work with that remainder. Okay? So if you're left with a remainder, if left with a remainder, what do you do with that remainder? Okay, I'm going to write this and it's not going to make any sense yet until we do the examples. So what you do is you write a 0. You write a 0 in the dividend, sorry. So you write a 0 in the dividend, and then you bring down, and you bring it down, okay? And bring down. Okay, and then you divide. Continue to divide. Okay? So, if you are left with another number and it's not another 0, so you have like another remainder, again, then you just keep bringing down zeros, okay? You add a 0, you bring it down. You add a 0, you bring it down. You keep doing that until you get left with no remainder. Sorry. Step 3 is when there's no more remainder. So you're left with a 0. Hopefully you can see this pen. I always write with it and then you can't really see it very well. When there's no more remainder, then you place your decimal above the original. Then place decimal above original. Okay, so I'm going to do a small example on the bottom here, and then, because I really want to keep these notes so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's follow the steps. Here's example 1. We have 4.5 divided by 6. Okay, so if you think about this really quick, you're always supposed to put the big number on the inside of the division bracket because you have to have a big number and it needs to be divided into a smaller number, okay? Well, that's not the case here. This is the smaller number, 4.5 divided by 6. Well, before, when you didn't know how to do this, we would tell you, no, that doesn't make sense. You have to have the bigger number on the inside. But now you guys know that you can have fractions of things, okay? So you've been learning about fractions. So I have 4.5, and I have 4.5 pizzas left. I can still divide that into 6 people, okay? How many are each person gonna get? They're gonna get, like, let's say, a slice and a half each, or 3/4 of a slice each, whatever the answer is, okay? So don't look at this and say, oh no, the big number is not on the big number is not going to be the one inside the bracket. This doesn't make any sense. Well, we're going to prove to you now how it can make sense, okay? So let's do 4.5 divided by 6, okay? This first number is the one that's being divided by. It goes on the inside of that division bracket, okay? Sorry, something in my eye. All right, so how many 6s go into 4, okay? Here's the thing. The book kind of skips this. I don't like to skip it because it's important for those who are still learning a little bit how to divide and practicing dividing. Do not skip a number, okay? Don't say, okay, 6 doesn't go into 4, so I'm going to skip that. 6 can go into 45, yeah. Okay, do every single number. Can 6 go into 4? No, okay? So I put a 0, 0, and 4. I'm still left with the same number, but I still need that 0 there, okay? So what do? Bring down the 5. Can 6 go into 45? Yes. How many times? 7. 7 times 6 is 42. And I'm left with 3. Oh no, I'm left with 3, but there's nothing else to bring down, okay? This is where the decimal is going to come into effect, okay? The 0. So I have a remainder. This is step 2. If left with a remainder, write a 0 in the dividend and bring down. Here's a 0. Bring it down. Now, can 6 go into 30? Yes. How many times? 5. Okay, and I'm left with a 0. When there's no more remainder, I have a 0 remainder, so there's no more, then place your decimal above the original. Here's my original decimal right here. Here's my original decimal, and I'm going to place my new decimal right above that. Okay, so let's do another example because this is definitely going to take some practice, okay? Especially when you're getting multiple remainders, okay? So here's my answer. So we figured out that, we figured out that everybody's going to get 3/4